Thank you very much, Ambassador Idrissa Kargbo, once again today for making this time to meet with me. I know you're a very busy man. I've been scheduling this meeting for over weeks now, but I'm very much happy you are able to consent to meet with me today, this Saturday morning, which I really appreciate. You have been very supportive to my mission, and I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome, Mr. Ange, Mr. Paul Longimato, sir. It has been nice working with you, though with busy schedule, but I know you are a very diligent guy, and I thought it fit that giving you a try and giving you my time is worth it, because I know you are a very brilliant. You have this very brilliant idea, and I believe in your visions. So what brings you to my office today?
Thank you very much. I know I've been really disturbing you, but yeah, it was as youth coming up, we really want to ensure that we develop our young ones coming. So briefly, I would like to give you an update on the purpose of this meeting today. So remember the last time we met, and we also discussed, I got your feedback, I told you about my prototype. You are part of the testing process as well.
Okay, that's good.
For this meeting, I want to get your feedback on some of my implementation plans, and it's going to be very snappy. There are a couple of questions here that I would like us to deliberate on, getting your feedback, getting your own opinion and thought process on how best I can improve this mission and project of mine to ensure that I reach my actual goal that I want to foresee in the coming future.
Okay, Mr. Paul.
Briefly, I would like to give you a recap about since the last time we met. And
it has been a while.
Yeah, I would like to give you the recap. So, like what happened the last time, I've done the prototype, I've tested it, and you are part of the process.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to do a follow-up on those, but since I was too busy, well, it's good that we are here now. I guess you can give me a rundown.
Yeah, so I've done the prototype already. Like, you are part of the process. You see how much young people were interested, how much excited it was for young people to see that, and people were out there saying their minds that this is what we really want. They have been longing to be part of the process of governance. They have been longing to have the skills. They want the opportunity, they need the platform, but unfortunately in a country like this, our youths are not considered. My next step now is actually going and coming to implement it. I've tested the solution. It's leadership training program, a mentorship training program, and then also an entrepreneurship training program. So this time now, I really want to go down to the field to actually start implementing those solutions. But I would like to first of all start. My next plan now for this year is actually launching the Youth Unite Africa, which is the umbrella organization that I created that will foresee these activities that we be implementing the solution, giving the leadership training, mentorship, and entrepreneurship. So my next step is actually launching it, getting approval from the Ministry of Youth and also NATSA for the approval, and so we can start operation. We can start registering young people into these different programs and getting experts as well to come on board to support, like yourself, for example, being a mentor to many of these young youth who really need these people to talk to them, to guide them, to train them on how to be self-confident, self-independent, so tomorrow they will be well fit to take up the leadership in this country, Sierra Leone. And another interesting one I would like to ask, just want to know what are some of the pointers as I think about my implementation plan. What do you think are some of the pointers that I need to consider, that I need to think about, look very closely about, so that I cannot miss in any angle, but rather get it at the right track? So.
Okay, Mr. Paul. I have listened to what you've said based on our last meeting and what some of the progress that you've done. I think you're doing really great. And being a part of this youth empowerment for a couple of years now, I believe I'll be able to help in any way I can, because some of these problems that we, the youth of Sierra Leone, are facing, Africa in general, because looking at your aims and objective based on our last meeting, I believe these are your organization is not just based for Sierra Leone mainly, and youth affecting issues is not just for Sierra Leone, it affects the whole Africa as well. So I would like us to look at some of the pointers I would like us to give very close attention, because we are having a huge problem in terms of youth support, because in terms of sponsorship, Africa, we are blessed. Trust me, the youth of Africa, we are so blessed with ideas. But one of the keys that we lack, one of the things that we lack is this support, sponsorship. And in terms of being sponsored and monitored is one thing. And I believe one of the pointers I want us to look at is you look out for funding. You look out for funding. Because when you have this idea, there are a lot of youths that just like you that has a lot of ideas, but then they lack the sponsorship. So some of these pointers I want us to let's look at the sponsors and the idea behind your project. Because mind you, youth issues goes sideways. When we talk about youth, you're not only talking about guys or just men. You're talking about both male and female, and children as well. And so when you look at this point and when you look at your idea, it needs to be included. These people need to be included in being part of your idea. So I believe the sponsors and also the idea, who is included. You understand? So, and also reaching the right people. In implementing your project, I believe this is a very big project and it's wonderful. The aim of helping youth in Africa is very, very great. And reaching the right people. What do I mean by this? Now you have your project. There are a lot of guys, there are a lot of people out there that will be saying, I want to help you, this, that, and you are a youth and very naive and ready to succeed. So I believe you'll be tempted by anybody that comes with something willing to buy your idea or so. It's good. But then one thing I want you to have at the back of your mind is to know who you should work with. Because at the end of the day, it's your goal. And you should know the trusted people you should have around you. And even in implementing your project, you should make sure the project reach the right people. Because we'll be having these guys in these offices where as long as they notice that you have gained some funding from an international or an NGO company, they will be like, okay, let's implement this project, while they just put a bunch of their relatives who knows nothing. That's why I'm trying to give a point and guide you in certain areas that you should look at when trying to implement this your project.
Alright, thank you very much. I absolutely were not thinking in that angle. And moving forward, having been so close, because from the very start of this mission, from the very start of it, I've always included you, I've always seek your advice. I really want to know, looking at my prototype I did last time, the website, I want to know how can I ensure that my mission implementation plan is realistic? Do I have not yet implemented it?
Okay. One thing I want you to believe in, based on this project, based on this process, on this progress that you have made, building your prototype website and all, I think that's a huge step. But then another step that we should look at in terms of implementing to make sure your mission is implemented in the field is knowing who is in need.
Need-based assessment.
Knowing who is in need. Now, let's say your targeted people. I believe your main aim is to include youth in governance, youth empowerment, and all. Now, in implementing these missions in the field, we need to look at people who are in need. Now, we have graduates who lack skills and they need to be empowered. And one thing about the youth in Africa, they just believe that education is all. Yes, education is key, but one of the things that we are forgetting is having this capacity building. I would like you to focus on capacity building in terms of implementing your project, because at the end of the day, you equip a youth with skill. When a youth is equipped with skill, trust me, you've done a great job for that person. And for the women, I think that's one of the most critical. They are facing one of the most critical issues in Sierra Leone, because not having the power to do what they want, and they are always sidelined and all. But then, I believe with this initiative, you look at it at a different perspective by trying to empower women inclusively with guys and children as well. So I believe capacity building, learning the necessary skills at the very, let me say, wherein they can use those skills to survive with or without the help of anybody. Because one of the main ideas about youth in Africa depend wholly and solely on government, which is not bad, because it's the right of the government to support youth in any country. But then your main vision, your main aim and objective of this project is to change the mindset of youth in order for them to be able to involve in governance, to be empowered. And during that process, we need to change the mindset. If this project is to be implemented, we start with the mindset, reaching out to the right people, and then capacity building and skills development. So I believe with this view, we can look into what needs to be done, and what skill is necessary for certain set of people. So I believe with this, you can see where I'm coming from.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for that brilliant one. Moving forward, I want to get you understand, because I'm very young, trying to develop a solution to actually tackle and change the mindset, like you rightly said, of young people who are out there wasting, who have greater potential but actually do not know how to actualize it. I want to know, you have been there, you have been doing great works in the development of youth in this country, which I'm so much grateful, which is one of the reasons why I chose you to be my mentor in this particular project. I want to know, what are some of the innovative ideas that I can include in my mission implementation?
Mr. Paul, I believe some of the youth innovative ideas, because having been in this field for a couple of years now, I've gained some experience in dealing with youth issues. And yes, you'll be liable to make a mistake, but that's why we are here, to help out. Though I'm also a young coming up, but I believe some of these innovative ideas that I want you to implement in your project would be like, let's say, like youth councils, like youth governance, like youth council and youth serving on boards. These are innovative ideas that I want you to include in your project, because having dealt with youth issues for quite some time now, I mean, some of these ideas are not yet been dealt with. And I believe if you put this into practice from your own project, I believe it will be a massive something. And I believe, let me say, what do I mean by youth in council? Because many elected officials in our governance presently, mind you, we had a civil war for 11 years, and most of these people that have been elected, that have been elected for our governance are now, let me say, each and every one, there's like 50 above 60, 70. You understand? So like if we involve youth council, we have a youth council. We involve youth in government. That innovative idea will be great, because when you involve youth, youth can communicate with youth well. Because I believe, I'm not even sure if our youngest parliamentarian is a youth anymore. Though we only have one, I guess. And if we include more youth in our councils, I believe it will be great. Having a country that is led by youth, there will be a lot of room for improvement, because they are willing to learn, they are willing to explore, and since they are young, there will be more ideas coming up. Because let's take a look the past governance and then the past government and all. These people, they are just like going around the loop, doing something, and it's undone. Well, but when you include the youth in your council, when you include youth in council, I believe you will see massive progress, because these youth these youth nowadays are hungry to succeed. You understand? So I believe that's one of the innovative ideas. And then youth governance. You understand? Now you support young people in leading organizations. Support young people in leading organizations. Now there are some organizations that are out there that are supporting youth.
Okay.
Like you try to blend in and then you support them. You bring them on board and then work towards this project. So yeah, thank you. Partnership. Just as I say, partnership. And I believe there are some organizations out there that are just not just okay with what is going on. They are hungry to make a change. So if you include youth governance in your project, I believe that's a very good innovative idea. And let's say youth serving on boards. What do I mean by this? Consider establishing youth position in your organization, governing board, and ensuring it is filled regularly. Well, let me make it clear. Yeah. Now, this is an innovative idea that has not yet been considered in the past few years. Youth serving on board, because these youth that are coming up, youth of nowadays are very sensitive.
Sure.
Just as I said earlier, they are very they are open up to learning, and I believe these old folks that we are having in our government, I'm not saying that they are not doing well, but I believe the step that is supposed to be taken towards youth has not yet been considered. Why? Because they failed to include youth on their board. And based on this project that you have presented to me, and I believe if you include youth on your board in terms of making decisions, agreeing, I believe it will go a long way, and it will create a massive impact to youth and youth development in this country. I have a lot, but I believe this few, like Youth Voice. Some of this, as I said earlier, you partner with organizations in making the voice of the youth being heard out there through social media and some other platforms. So I believe this is something that we need to put into consideration when implementing your project, and these are some of the innovative ideas that I want you to look at, just few.
Okay.
I think that would be good.
Thank you very much, Mentor. You see, that is why necessary at times for us to getting back to you, because my thinking process was not actually on those lines. Yeah, you see, like one brilliant when you come up with doing that need-based assessment. I think that is where even the government of Sierra Leone have been failing, because we have a ministry that is run by a minister that is over 60, who is not even a youth
anymore.
So I wonder, that's the question I used to ask this government now. What difference do you expect that 60-year-old man to make in the lives of young people? That is why when you look at all the empowerment programs he's implementing, they are all vague, making wash car as youth empowerment. That does not help any youth. Nobody needs skill to wash a car. It's a common, you see, it just doesn't go down to the grassroots problem of young people in this country.
Definitely.
It just doesn't. So I really will take those ideas into consideration. My aim is to ensure I change the mindset of youth in this country, empower them, give them self-confidence, give them the skills to be self-reliant without any politician So at the end of the day, they'll be self-confident. We like you coming up with an idea. We need more youth representative in the House of Parliament. The Parliament is boring. It's full of people who just think about how they should steal money, how they should loot this country. Even in a debate, they are not having any constructive debate.
Definitely. And believe you me, God, there's anybody that you see in our parliament today, they will tell you that we have 47 years war and we have lost a lot. And that means them being in governance means they want to recover what they have lost.
Exactly.
And that does not bring progress.
At all. Currently now, election is around the corner in 2023. These same youth that they consider today are useless, the same youth they consider they have no value in our society. These are the same people now they are using for their different campaigns to get symbols to contest the election.
So if you observe, just as I've said earlier, this process that they are working on is just like a loophole, like going something over and over. Because every year, as long as it's time for election, what they will do, they just go, since they are youth, they are hunger, and they don't go, provided they say it means will bring something lucrative for you. But then, at the end of the day, as long as it's time for election, they just bring money, and youth need money. And then they use this youth to commit violence, which is not good.
Playing with their mindsets.
No.
Anyways, thank you very much, Ambassador, for that wonderful ideas. I'll definitely take them into consideration, and you're already part of this project. So I will not leave you.
I'm happy to work with you.
We are together in this.
I'll be happy to be part of it.
My next one now is, which is very, very much important, working in this particular field to develop young people, to advocate, especially in a country like Sierra Leone. Networking is very important. You have to know your network. You have to be able to expand your network daily, on a daily basis. Who to reach out to, when to reach out to them. And also I want to know, how can I increase my network in this field? And again, what are some of the opportunities that are available to me in this field?
Okay. I think that question is very, very much important, pertaining to networking. And one thing I want you to get as a youth, a young youth just as you are, easily distracted because you are so desperate to succeed, is your mindset. Your mindset is something that is, when you work on your mindset, trust me, your networking will be very easy, and there will be a lot of opportunities out there for you. I made up my mind when I was in Form 3 that I will not be used by someone to make a change.
Okay.
I made up my mind. I changed my mindset. What I did, there was one time where we have this entire programs and all. Then we just saw a parliamentarian from parliament that came around and just threw out money and all. And at the end, the next day, trust me, all of these guys were just, which is not good. So from that very day, I made up my mind that in order for me to succeed, I need to change my mindset. And that level, I left that point. So you, the individual, work on your mindset. Know what you want. Now, your destination. When you work on your mindset, you think about your destination. That means you need the people, because you cannot be dealing with advocacy stuff and then you dealing with what do I say? A doctor. You think of, when you change your mindset, when you work on your mindset, and then you think about your destination before looking for the type of. Why I am asking you to do this is because these are the key issues in forming a network. When you work on your mindset, then you think about your destination. Now, I know you have your goal already. Now, having worked on your mindset, you think about what will be my next step? And then you think about your network, how to establish your network. Now, Sierra Leone is full of opportunities. Trust me, some of our youth are just being bullied by these 60 years old people. But when you think about your destination, then you know who and who to include in your project. Now, let's say this particular project, your opportunities would be like, this would be a new idea. And you having this new idea, trust me, it is not just for 2 years and then it's fade away. No, this is something that is continuously. It's a gradual process. So having work on your mindset to think about your destination, then you build your map. Let's say we have, and the government is doing really well of late because there are some donors that have been coming around for youth programs, you know. So I believe that's an opportunity that I believe you should grab. Attend conferences, take the right contact, and because actually having represented youth in several programs, I believe that's where I make my connections. That's where I build my network.
Just like the first time we met on the youth
Definitely
conference at Bo.
I remember the last time we met. Okay, at that youth summit.
Yes.
Believe you me, it has been a while. But programs like that, you understand? There are some programs that have been organized by these NGO companies, and as long as you made up, you know your destination, that you know the people that should be involved in your network. Do you need a doctor for advocacy? If it's necessary, then go for doctors.
Okay.
Do you need children? And believe you me, children, they are very good to work with because they are very vulnerable. And when you deal with the mindset for the children, they will become great and strong. So I believe some of these opportunities that you'll be getting out there will be like working with the right people and going towards this youth summit, youth programs, you know. I've been invited a couple of times to go give a talk on programs on youth issues and all, but I just thought it fit that if I need to make something to work, I need to sit down and work on my mindset and then think of it direct. Because when you work with youths of nowadays, they tend to confuse you. I'm also a youth, so I know I know what I'm talking. Some of them try to play like very, some of them try to be like very smart. As long as they get their funding, say, I've got what I want, so I just relax, you know. But then knowing who to work with, just as you've done. We had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, but then see what you've come with again. But these people, these youths of nowadays, as long as you've just given them these ideas and you just go. But then try to involve in these street programs and then meeting the right people. Even in governance, people will tell you that I'll give you 20 million, 10 million, then they will use you for campaign. Try to avoid that. That I will not advise you in that aspect. As you see me, I'm only working with youth issues. I'm not the party type. So that's something I want to consider. And that would be some of this. That would be some of your pertaining to your networking. These are some of the areas I want you to look at.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's never a dull time. I really continue to learn every day, every now and again. Whenever I meet you, I feel like I've not been doing anything. Because
but you don't
the ideas that you come up with are so extreme. So I don't know if you have anything in your mind, any extra information that you like to give me to work on, to include, so that this thing, we can work on it and it could be a success in this mission.
I have a lot to say because for a couple of times now, I haven't had this great idea on my desk. So I believe working with you will be great. And I so believe in your idea that I'm willing to give my time because I'm so busy. And you need to forgive me for that because we all care for hustle. And you know what it means.
Exactly, sir.
But this idea is really great and I am so much believe in it. And what I would want to advise is to be, now you know what you want, right? Africa is hard to survive. And Africans are quick to satisfy,
Comfort zone.
quick to content. Trust me. I would like you to never give up on changing lives. Now this is a great game. It will create a massive impact and it will make a lot of life better. So what I want you to do, never stop changing, never stop making a change. Because, and don't focus on politics, governance, or present. Be with the government of the day, because it is youth issues. And trust me, you'll never run out of youths that are willing to succeed. Because having these great ideas that you are with now and planning to work on, trust me, I'll make sure to work with you in meeting the right people and getting the right connections and all. And I'll always be here. My desk will always be open. But then it will be a tough ride. Trust me. You'll meet someone that just take your money and just go. Someone will just buy your idea because what they want to implement it when the times for their election. Don't work with times and seasons. What do I mean by that? We have the healing season, and we also have in terms of when we have politics, you see these big guys coming up. I want you to ideas, I want you, but then at the end of the day, you just go down and sit. Try to avoid short people because you will easily distracted. So I believe, I never get tired talking to you because with these your ideas, we can be here and take the whole day.
I know, right?
So I believe this will be some, and my door is always open, we can always talk.
Thank you.
And I think anytime you need me, just message me.
No problem.
I'll be there to reply.
I will always keep in touch. It has been a very
and also I'll be keeping in touch because this is not just your project, it's our project.
Definitely.
So what I'll do, I'll keep in touch
No problem.
for updates and progress.
No problem, sir.
Even if you want us to go to the field, we can go.
No
I'm
problem.
also a youth, so
Yes.
don't worry.
I believe in it, sir.
So
It has been a great pleasure once again leaving your busy schedule to give me this time. I really appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for giving me this time. And I believe and I know with these brilliant ideas that you have given me, with God's grace, I'm going to ensure I put them into work, put them into the field to ensure that we come out very successful at the end of the day. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
God bless you.
I always keep in touch.
You're
Your
welcome.
ideas are really great.
You're welcome.